I'm making Tian d'aubergine. I think that's a way to say it. It's basically eggplant and tomato. You can serve this dish hot or cold or room temperature. Start off by preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Choose a dish that's going to fit your 2 or 3 eggplants. Now this one I'm using is small. I would suggest either using glass or ceramic, and my dish is 11 by 7 inches. Grease the dish. If you have a spray, you can use that, or you can just put in a little bit of oil. I'm just putting in some olive oil and using a paper towel to grease the bottom and the edges. With 2 large onions, remove the papery outer shell and cut off the ends, and then cut it really thinly. This is where you want to use either a large knife, or if you have some other contraption in your kitchen. Here's another piece I want to take off. Another contraption in your kitchen that can cut these really thinly, go ahead and do that. Put the onions into the baking dish, and if you have these circles, just pop out the circles. Sprinkle on the onions either 2 teaspoons of dried thyme or 1 tablespoon of fresh. Now I'm ready to slice the eggplant. I've already sliced off this end with the little planty thing, and I want to cut them in 1/4 inch pieces, but I'm not going to cut all the way through because I want the eggplant to stay attached at the bottom. So this is a little tricky, especially to get them really thin. So I'm going to go down to about there, if you can see, just enough to keep some open, because I'm going to be putting a slice of tomato between all of these. Now I've set the eggplant into the baking dish, and now I'm ready to slice the tomatoes. I've actually counted how many slices there are in the eggplant, and there are 33, so I need 33 slices of tomato, and these are going to be thin slices as well. I have 5 tomatoes to work with, so I'm going to use my large sharp knife again after cutting out that little core top piece, and I'm just going to slice pieces of tomato that are going to fit into each slice of eggplant. Then here's the tricky part, wedging the tomatoes in to the eggplant. And you want to try to get the tomato to be even with the edge here. I'm trying to do my larger tomatoes in the back of the eggplant, top of the tomato even with the eggplant, so that it's a prettier presentation. To make the vinaigrette, I'm starting with 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard and adding 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, giving it a little bit of a whisk. And then in this picture, I have 6 tablespoons of olive oil. And as I whisk, I'm just going to add the olive oil slowly, trying to get my arm out of the way. I poured the vinaigrette back into the little pitcher so that I could easily pour it over the eggplant. Then right before it goes in the oven, shake on some pepper and salt, or salt and pepper. The oven is preheated to 350. I'm going to put it in uncovered for an hour. Now, because of how big these are, I also put a piece of foil on the rack below. But after an hour, we're going to cover it with foil and bake it more. The hour is up, and now I'm going to cover it with a piece of foil with my pot holders on, and put it back in the oven for 1 more hour. When it's done, take it out of the oven and set it to cool, but you can serve it hot. So that's a baked version of Tian d'aubergine. I hope I'm saying that right. Like I said in the beginning, you can eat this either hot or cold or room temperature. It's really delicious and a great vegan dish.